Bama, we are back. What is this, episode 18?
Yep.
With Mr. Michael Moffett over here, a neighbor.
Thank you for having me, gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
We'll talk about UPS then, because that's where we initially started from. What's UPS like during COVID? I know there's got to be...
COVID was a little weird, because you remember that's when me and Lindsay were having our first child. She was pregnant during COVID. So it was kind of weird. I looked around UPS. It's not very clean. The people around there aren't very, like they don't eat good. They're smoking a lot of cigarettes, a lot of energy drinks. So that's kind of how I determined how I would treat COVID. If it ran through UPS and everybody started getting knocked down, then it'd be a little, I need to take this seriously. But because nobody really got messed up at UPS, I was like, oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Ain't that bad.
It didn't seem to be that bad. And then, so I was like, all right, well, I'm not really going to worry about this too much then. But it was still weird. It was always in the back of your mind. Touch a lot of doorknobs, talk to a lot of people.
Was like delivering packages and stuff different during that time or no?
No, it was all the same. Everything was the same. They just gave us hand sanitizer.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just...
Well, then shipping and stuff like that, too, had been backed up. What wasn't that like? Because like getting like in the car business, getting parts from overseas, that was all backed up.
Yeah, but I don't know. It was hard to get stuff, but I don't really see that.
Okay, yeah.
The boxes still come in for me.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I deliver a box, somebody would be like, oh my gosh, dude, I've been waiting 6 months for this. I'm like, well, I just showed up and it was in my truck. I don't really go through. And that's what I love about it. You wake up in the morning, you show up, your truck's loaded. You just hop in and go. Your route's already made. You don't worry about anything. You just go get those boxes off. And I run the same route every day. So
yeah, you've been doing that, 6 years now?
Give or take, maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah. So, you ever fight any dogs before?
Oh, yeah. I've knocked a dog out. When they come up to the little scanners, man, you can hit them right on the back of the head. And it's only if they're trying to get you.
Right.
And that's why I tell people sometimes, man, they'll come up to you and you're in a fight with a dog. Like, we have to fight. One of us is going to lose. And they're just going to keep on biting you and eating you. And it's like, I'm going to go home. I got kids. I'm not, I fought a lot of dogs. But I've never gotten really bit that bad, which is nice.
Because you see videos of like people jumping on cars and shit like that, trying to get away from dogs delivering packages. I think it's hilarious.
I tell you what, any dog, I'll fight any dog. Because all you gotta do is just avoid that initial bite. You just hit that bite and then you whack them and then they don't know what's going on and you're good.
Then they're like, oh shit.
But then you get out of there. You don't stick around too long.
Yeah, I've seen videos, dudes like scaling fences, trying to run away, jumping on neighbors' cars and shit. Like, that's a little excessive, but
it's happened.
I believe.
There's lots of stories around in Bowling Green that happening.
Any crazy instance with a truck driving and stuff like that, or no? Just like what's the craziest story? I guess probably just the dogs, ain't it?
Dogs. You get riding around in the woods. And you can make a wrong turn, end up pretty deep down a little trailer you're not supposed to be on. Mm-hmm.
You ever get it stuck yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I got a new truck now, and it's awesome. I love it. It's got traction control.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, it's a lot better. Those old ones, I forget what the differential or whatever in the back end's called. Yeah. But you can be on the road. One tire's on the road, and one tire gets in the mud, and then that tire in the mud's the only one spinning, you're done. So it doesn't take much to get them stuck. You just kind of learn about it.
Yeah, just give that truck to the new guy.
Yeah. I love mine. Yeah. It's a brand new Ford. It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
but it's a pretty fun job, especially like with UPS. We're a union. We're in the Teamsters union, so that's always nice. And I mean, I don't go out there trying to get fired. I try and do it good for my customers. You know what I mean? I treat that box like it's my box, but it's nice knowing the back of my head if you get in trouble.
Right. You can't really do much about it.
You got a little backup if you need it.
Hell, you almost gotta kill somebody to get actually fired from there. Because don't they like hire you back on after you get fired or something like that?
It depends on what you do. Yeah. Sometimes a supervisor can get a little aggressive, kind of, you know what, Pate, I don't like you, and I'm going to go follow you for a week, and eventually I'm gonna catch you, drinking water too many times, and I'm gonna say you're stealing company time, and that's sometimes where the union can come in. It's like, yes, I was drinking water, but
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. There was
here.
oh, I forget his name. You probably know him. He drives semis back and forth to Nashville. And he was at a stop, and he ran to the gas station for like 10 minutes, and they called
Brandon Jones.
and so I don't know if that was that situation, but he got fired from running the gas station basically, and got hired back on a month later or something.
That's Mr. Brandon Jones.
Yeah.
We all know and love Brandon.
Yeah.
I won't speak on anybody else's stories. It's fun though, and like you can mess with them. Like you're talking about during COVID.
Yeah.
There's a time we were delivering to factories, and they told us we don't have to sign. Like the factories were trying to get you to sign. Did you go to China yesterday? What's your temperature? Can
Right.
you take your temperature? Like, man, we don't have to do that. We're just
Right.
delivering boxes. We'll leave them over here if you want.
Right. Hell, leave him outside.
And these one people are asking me, they want me to sign or do a QR code. And I'm like, I'm not,
Yeah.
And COVID's where I went a little conspiracy theory, and I'm like, I'm not. This whole thing's a little weird, so I'm not gonna do a QR code. And they said we can sign a declaration. If you have a declaration that already checks all this off, you can give it to us, and that'll work. And I was like, perfect. I said, I have that. So I pulled out our sorry we missed you, and I wrote, I declare I do not have to do this. And I signed it in my boss's name. And that was when we were like, we were fighting a little bit. And what was funny is they filed a corporate complaint saying my boss was not, doing their COVID protocols at the factory. Then the union was like, why in the heck is, delivering boxes? And it was a whole thing. It was funny. And they get in trouble because
They made us do that. I was at Magna at that
That's
time.
where, no, I'm sorry. It was Conocellum over there across the street.
Yeah. No, they.
Yeah. Were you working in COVID during working?
I wasn't working at Magna during COVID. Yeah, and you
Shit.
had to fill out a little. You had to go on the app and fill in this little chart.
Did you go to China
Do you
last night?
Yeah. Did you go outside the state? Did you do this?
Really?
Do you have a temperature? You're supposed to take your temperature every morning. I was like, I don't.
I like delivering boxes to y'all because I just show up to the guard, tell them I'm there, and somebody comes out there in a little golf cart, backs up to the truck, and I'll just hand them out to him. I don't have to wheel them in there or anything. It's nice.
Dude,
nice
the
and easy.
biggest bullshit thing during COVID was that little plastic forehead scanner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like 110 degrees. I'm like, bitch, you'd be dead if you were that.
That's what I told them. That's why I had a lot of people. I was like, it doesn't even work. It's like
no. You can take an actual thermostat or.
It was way too hot or way too cold.
Yeah, you'd be like 94 degrees. I got hypothermia or something.
COVID was super silly. It was a little frustrating.
It
I
was.
believe it.
And nothing worked. You couldn't remember the restaurants? You couldn't have a normal going out to eat.
Yeah,
Everything was retarded and said because of COVID.
Yeah.
Unless you were outside.
So
then it was oh no, there's no rules out here.
Right. Yeah. So the car business, you couldn't have a customer in the dealership. So you open the service lane that you drive through, and you'd work your deals on a bed of a truck in the service lane. Because there's airflow.
Yeah,
it's
open the doors.
Yeah, because the airflow is
That's why I said UPS. We're all real close to each other. The boxes,
yeah.
there's probably 8 different people that touch your box by the time it shows up on your front door.
Oh yeah, from just UPS.
Probably sweating, sneezing, peeing,
Yeah, I mean they.
pooping.
Yeah.
I don't know, at 4 in the morning when you're loading a truck after you take a piss if you're washing your hands, so.
You might be mad. You might not care. Man, they're gross. I'm proud to say I got the cleanest truck in all Bowling Green, though.
We got the newest truck.
Yeah.
It probably gets easy running the same route the whole time, though.
I can do it with my eyes closed now.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's Smiths Grove,
you're out
Cave
the
City out
countryside,
there,
yeah.
Mammoth
Yeah.
Cave.
Yep.
And it's fun. I like delivering at Mammoth Cave. They get a lot of heavy stuff, a lot of T-shirts, but it's really pretty out there.
It's got to be kind of delivering through town. Is that difficult?
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, driving.
That was my training route. Was on the bypass. It was terrible.
Yeah.
'Cause that truck, man, you got that much room.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those little ass
Yeah,
roads.
Yeah.
And then you barely
fit.
fit.
You pop a couple of those telephone poles, those mirrors, before you know it.
Yep. Yeah, we have trucks that. Hell, we had a FedEx truck hit one of our employee cars about a week ago. which like we have like an access road and nobody parks in the grass. So I mean, I don't know why the FedEx truck went through there, but they clipped a mirror. Or something
Oh, there's
like
a lot. We could sit here all day.
Yeah.
Till about 2:00 in the morning. I could just tell you stories just from my route.
Yeah.
Of people at FedEx.
My dad used to drive for FedEx.
They get a little crazy.
Yeah.
It's just a little different. Because, like, when I became a driver, they sent us, I was talking with my buddies about it. It used to be a much bigger deal. They flew me to Chicago, Illinois for a week. Like, stayed in a nice hotel.
Yeah.
We went to a legit driving school. And I say everybody before you turn 16 needs to go to this driving school because I've never been in a wreck my whole life.
Yeah.
But once I went to that school, I thought I was a good driver.
Yeah, right.
I was like, oh man, there's a whole new. It's just everybody needs to go to it. It was a big deal. And FedEx, I don't know if they do anything. To be honest.
Yeah, because they're not union, are they? FedEx ain't union.
I don't know.
No, they're weird. Like y'all could buy a route at FedEx
and just throw a sticker on our van and just something like that and
call it.
Yeah, because
DP
FedEx
DP deliveries.
Yeah.
Deliver DP.
There you go. You might be on something there.
Yeah,
You just gotta find somebody to run. I'll run the route for you. Y'all just gotta pay match my pay and benefits.
Yeah, hell, I could do that. That's good. You see any accents though?
All the time.
Yeah.
Half the time I'm dodging them.
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
people
those
don't know how to drive
hillbillies.
around here.
They're all drunk too.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, either drunk or on meth or something driving around. There, you
you're
see a
on
lot of
mistakes.
wild stuff. That's another fun thing about the job. You get to see all those crackheads in their natural environment, man. You
In the middle of the day.
Weird stuff.
Half of them ain't got shirts on.
There,
on
I
the
was
outside.
delivered out near Man Cave the other day, and there's these people. They live in an RV, little motorhome, and they've all spare wood. They've built like an old school fort around the motorhome, and there's a pig head. I guess they slaughtered one of their pigs. I've never seen pigs around there, but all of a sudden I'm driving by there. It was about 2 weeks ago, and there's a big pig head on top of the fence post.
Oh, I seen that on your story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you just killed somebody and put their head on a post, dude.
I delivered them Wednesday last week. Knocked on the door. Some lady came out and. What are you doing? Like, is this your house? It's
live here?
Man, it's amazing the way some people live. It makes you thankful that you don't have a lot of screws loose.
Yeah,
And
wow.
you can function because.
That's hilarious.
Did you ask him what it was, or just kind of?
Oh no, you just.
Hand them and thanks.
You just kind of laugh about it. All right, well, here's y'all's package. Have a good day. You don't want to get stuck too long. I mean, those people talk to you all day long. Yeah, and then stuff they talk about. Some guy was telling me about they were releasing wolves in Mammoth Cave. There's a nuclear missile silo. I'm like, dude, I gotta go. It's like 9:30. I got a big day. It's funny. I love it though. It's
Because you get timed once, like you park the truck basically. To, come back.
You get 19 seconds. Find a box in the back. 10 seconds after your foot hits a step. When you get back up on the truck, you got 10 seconds to start the truck and drive away. That's what they want you to do.
No.
Right. How do they keep track of all that though?
Oh, dude, I think it's called telematics. Well, they can see everything on that truck. They can see how hard you're hitting the gas, the brakes, what lights are on, what doors are open.
Hey.
They can see everything without actually seeing anything. And then they match that up with the scanner. It's got GPS and stuff on it too.
Oh, so they like time it. Yeah, because don't you like set the scanner in something in the truck?
Yeah, that's just like a GPS cradle though. You drop it in there, boom, and then GPS pops up, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started driving, we didn't have GPS. It just said, 7,000 Green Hill Road.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I just moved here from Lexington. I'm like, they say you're going to the bypass. So what's the bypass? I just got here. Well, I don't know what that is. 1042 US 31 bypass. Like,
Well,
how do I get there?
Yeah, half the names here or roads have two names.
And then it's the medical center.
Yeah.
I'm like,
There's 8 of them. Yeah, it's like
what? Gonna go find Doctor Whoever. Like, man, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But no, it's a lot easier now. I love it. Like I said, course, I don't run the bypass.
Right.
I go cruise around the country all day.
Yeah,
Go
that's
talk to
gotta
the
be a lot
bypass
easier.
guy. He may not be having a good time, but I am.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's probably a good route to start on though, because it can't get worse than that. I mean,
That's a great way to put it.
right? Like
Yeah.
like it's only going to get better here. So if you make it through this, I mean, you may be able to be a good employee long term. You know.
That's the way I look at it out
Yeah.
there in the country. I'm like, I could be in office.
Yeah. Dude, I always see UPS drivers with the door open bake, bro. That's gotta be nice.
Yeah,
That's
until
gotta
it's
be the
super
best
hot
part.
or super cold.
The summertime gets rough.
Oh, I
Yeah.
believe that.
Because the back, you can't have that door to walk into the back and get the boxes. It's got to be closed. And
it's just
it's
cooking
all
boxes.
sealed up.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
vents at all back there. So, I mean, it's
So a
hot.
tin
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. You go stand out. It'd be 95 degrees. You go stand out in the sunshine to cool off.
Yep.
I'm serious. It sounds stupid, but it's really that hot.
Believe it.
But you just drink a lot of water. Everybody, it kind of gets annoying. Because, I mean, AC's not that new.
No.
I'm
well,
sorry. It is new. We
Yeah,
haven't.
correct.
Humans haven't had AC a long time.
Yeah.
That's what like
Yeah.
everybody's like. Oh my god, how are you doing it? I'm like,
Well, just like Magna, you had basically like a tube of air run into you, and that's
Yeah,
about
they
it.
have like tubes running out through the whole place, and then like
Yeah.
every little station that people work at,
Yep.
it's a little tube coming down.
Yep. Then that's all you got, you know.
Yeah.
it stinks in
Yeah.
there.
No, it's awful.
I believe it.
It stinks in there.
That's
Just
that's the only
cutting
good part about wearing a mask in there. Like, you can smell anything in there.
Yeah, that's one thing that never worked was the mask, but yeah.
I was one of those people. I was kind of a jerk about not wearing a mask. I mean, I would, you know,
Yeah.
if it came down to it.
Yeah.
But I'm
Well,
like,
I'm not carrying one around with me. If they're like at the front door and like you have to wear a mask, I'm like, all right, I'll
Alright,
put it
cool.
on.
Yeah.
I'll grab it and walk inside and then put it in my pocket. And then if you come tell me again, I'm
Fuck.
alright. Like I wore one on the airplane.
And everybody leaves
Dude,
them
that
under
was-
their
I'm trying to
nose
go to the
anyways.
beach.
Yeah, you just leave it under your nose. That's what most people do anyways.
No, not on the airplane.
No, no,
Y'all won't catch me on an airplane anytime ever. I'll tell you that
I
right
gotta
now.
fly
Right now,
next
yeah.
week.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm going on Spirit though. They're the only one that hasn't flipped over yet. So.
that's
That's
true.
what they say. They say
Yeah.
y'all were making fun of us when we came out. But now look.
The cheap lights is where it's at, motherfucker.
I used to put all my faith in airplanes. We traveled like when I was a kid. We went to the beach and we'd always fly to it. And I was like, this is
I like
airplane. This is the safest thing it could possibly be on.
Ooh.
Until I started working at UPS, because we had some old mechanics that didn't
Yeah.
care about anything. Those trucks, like you're lucky,
Yep.
make it back in one piece.
Yep. Well, it's a metal tube flying through the sky. Like, how safe can that be? I mean, I'm surprised there's more accidents, but I mean, they fly themselves now, which is nice, but still.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
don't
sometimes,
I don't
right?
want my car driving by itself.
That's a
That's
new
scary.
thing. Tesla's at the forefront of that right now. They're doing like you pay like $100 a month for autonomous driving, and all you do is just sit there and look straight. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Well, people are mad at Tesla right now. Oh, Elon.
Yeah. Do you want to take a quick pause? We're coming back.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
All right, we back. Talking about Elon. Yeah.
Can.
People, yeah, you said people mad at him. They're upset because he keeps discounting his cars. Those people that bought him like 2-3 years ago, they're fucked in their car. Had a guy that he bought a 2024 and put he put 20,000 miles on it, and the car was like worth half of its price.
I mean, it's new technology. I don't know what people expect. Of course,
Yeah.
it's gonna come out. It's cool. I think they messed up. I'm all for Teslas, and like I don't care about. A lot of people get worked up. Oh, I'm not going to do an electric car. Rah, rah, rah. I think it's
I don't
cool.
mind it.
I think they messed up trying to like advertise it as saving the environment. They should have advertised like, check out this cool car that's like electric and really
you don't
fast.
pay for gas.
Yeah.
The amount of brake dust that comes off those things is terrible for the environment. And what's really scary is the side rails on our highways. They can't support
That
the
low.
weight.
I read an article about that.
Yep. If you're like driving a Rivian, which is like a truck or even a
I
side
like
truck,
those. Those look really cool
they
too.
do until you go through a side rail and don't stop. That's then you're really going for a ride. But that's and then on those you go through tires like crazy with how heavy the cars are. You're replacing.
I just
tires.
put some new tires on my car out there.
Yeah.
It started getting a little bumpy. I was like, good Lord. Even pulling out of the driveway, I go, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, all right, it's time for. But I just take that car to work and back. We
Yeah,
take
we'll
Lindsay's
drive it,
van
yeah.
everywhere, which I hate hate that van with every fiber of my being. Dude, I hate it so much. Do you think it's a Honda Odyssey? Supposed to be 2013,
Yeah.
100,000 miles. We
Yep.
bought it with 105,000.
Yep.
Had a Carfax, one owner. Every single maintenance, oil
everything
change,
good,
everything was in the dealership.
Yeah.
It was documented. I was like,
Yep.
we should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be good. Pulling out of the lot, click, 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 click. I was like, oh my God.
Uh-oh.
I had to replace the CV axle. And we've had this thing like a year and a half. Replace the axle, it's going bad again. And I know I did it right.
Right. Right.
Dang.
I know I did it right.
Right.
And it started leaking oil last year, and it was leaking oil into the alternator. It ended up being the valve cover gasket, which is like on that old Dodge I have, that 76 Dodge,
Yeah.
it's 6 bolts. You pull the header off, or the valve
it's
cover
like-
off, and
yeah.
it's right there.
Yeah.
With that minivan, dude, it took me 8 hours to pull that thing off. And I got it, it worked, and it wasn't leaking oil until about a week ago. And now we started smelling it.
Yep. Yep. Burning again.
And I looked under there, I was washing the cars yesterday. There's a little oil, just one little drop. I'm like, I'm gonna kill myself. I really am. I hate it so much. You put it in drive, it goes click. You let off the gas when you're driving. I think it's like the U-joints in there.
Yeah.
Which isn't the Honda itself, but I used to tell people at Christmas time when I was delivering packages, happy Honda days, just like throw them off,
Yeah.
Kind of like it's Super Troopers, like, all right, meow. But just something like that. But I will never say happy Honda days again, and I will never buy a Honda. And as God is my witness, my family, we are a Toyota family for here on out. Even that old Dodge, I tried to start that thing up yesterday, and the carburetor's messed up. We gotta get the recipe just right on there.
Yeah.
The timing's apparently messed up too. But I got it to crank up. It's spraying gas everywhere. Just gasoline spray. Remember when I brought it over here that one time?
Yeah. Yep.
I did that over here. I was like, my bad, dude. That's like, I run this.
Straight on.
I gotta go to O'Reilly's. Y'all don't smoke in that garage, you're gonna die. I'm telling you, there's like a cup and a half of gasoline on top of that motor. That truck, man, it's gonna be the death of me. I'm glad I only paid $500 for it.
You've had that thing for what, 2 years now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I ran it. I took it to work Monday, Wednesday, Friday when it was going good, and then things started going bad, and ever since then it's been sitting over there. But
Now, are you just replacing some of the old parts still, or now?
yeah, I just playing with it. I mainly bought it because it was $500, and it ran.
Right.
Lindsay's dad called me. Her uncle has a car lot up in Louisville or something, and somebody died, and he goes, "I'll give you this truck for $500." I was like,
Shit up.
worst case scenario, I could sell it for $6.
Yeah.
You know.
Make a.
But I ended up, it cranked up. I drove it back from Louisville. It was fine, and I bought it like to learn about cars, I guess.
Yeah.
'cause,
Yeah.
I mean, y'all know we don't have any family here, so
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta fix everything, and we try not to spend too much money on unnecessary stuff if we can. So
It gets expensive having dealerships or like O'Reilly's or whoever fix it for you. Like it's
it gets real expensive.
Yeah,
It feels
like
good when you fix it. Like when I did that axle.
Yeah.
The axle is one thing, but the valve cover gasket, because you were down in the engine.
Yeah.
I was like, I could fight a bear right now, and I would win, no problem.
I am the man.
Yeah, there's nothing I can't do. And I won't even tell you what I went inside did to Lindsay. The kids go to bed.
We're gonna make more of you. Go to bed.
So anyway, that's why Luke's over there.
I fixed the car.
Yeah.
We had another kid.
One day you're gonna tell them the story, babe boy.
I'll tell you where you came from.
That loose casket right there.
You need to give him the van for his first car.
I told Lindsay this morning on the way to church, I want to get rid of that thing right now.
Yeah.
We can hang on to it for a year, because that's a good thing about having kids too. That tax return is nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that. Yeah.
I don't know, man. That van. Cars are expensive. Everything's expensive. Everything's hard. I'm glad, like Lindsay she stays at home which is great, and I love it. The kids, you know, she raises them instead of daycare, which is nice.
That's a lot better. Yeah.
But man, that one paycheck. But we're doing good.
Yeah. Held like a labor rate at a deal, like our dealership's like $170 an hour or something like that.
I don't make $170 an hour.
Yeah, like it's just
I can't afford that.
yeah. So it's a lot of times like stuff you'll pay more in labor than you will just for like the part itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because it takes so long. Then,
That's why I love YouTube.
yeah, YouTube's great.
And I'm friends with the mechanics at work too.
Yep.
We got mechanics at UPS. I call them on the weekends. Hey man, this cars. Click, clack, click. What's that?
Can you FaceTime me real quick?
Yeah. And I tell Lindsay she'll be making some bread or whatever. So you gotta make 2 extra loaves. I'm gonna take it to the mechanics.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask about that. You guys cook or she? She's like a baker from.
Yeah.
Like,
she's got into a new thing now. The flour. She met a truck over there by the post office on Scottsville Road and bought a couple 100 pounds of wheat berries. And we're waiting on a mill to come in, but she's milling our flour now.
Wow.
Like the pizza we cooked last night, she milled the flour and then I don't know how she makes the dough, but she does it all homemade.
Yeah.
In that KitchenAid mixer. And then the sauce, the pizza sauce, she makes it out of red wine. And we got the tomatoes from that stuff from her dad's garden. We're going to try and do a big garden this year. I'm going to buy me a tiller, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
They're expensive, too. Everything's expensive.
They're a pain in the ass, too.
Yeah. Keeping up a garden's a pain in the ass, but, I mean, you got 3 little kids.
I was about to say 3 kids and stay-home life. They should be out there.
Yeah.
We just put a trampoline out there for them, too.
That's fun. I had a trampoline growing up. It was the best
They're
thing
awesome.
Ever. Yeah.
They're the best.
They're awesome. That thing was slippery, though.
Yeah.
It had like a lot of oil. Oh my gosh, from the factory.
Yep.
I was out there trying to put that net up there on it. So I was thinking, we never had a net growing up. But Lucy's 2 and Scarlett's 4. Mm-hmm. And I was like, they're going to break their neck on this thing. So I'll put this net up.
There's another bill right there.
That's the one bill we never have. Thanks to talking about unions, our health insurance is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I pay $0 for it for everybody. And like Scarlett, she was a weird pregnancy. She was high risk with Scarlett. And I always tell people, we got some stats in the mail from the insurance company, and they that year were charged like $450,000 because we're having to go to Vandy twice a week for testing on Scarlett.
Wow!
But our deductible was like $100. So yeah, we were in there when she was having Scarlett. She told him we want some nitrous, like bring some nitrous in here and get me through this. Like it's gonna be $70 a minute. I was like,
I ain't know that.
No, it ain't, honey. Bring 2 of them up here. Let me get one too. We've been here for a while. I'm bored. So that's why I tell everybody, like anybody getting out of high school or anything, if you don't know what you want to do, just go work at UPS for a little bit. Because the part-time benefits and the full-time benefits are the same.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, even like loading the boxes in the morning,
that's a good workout. I was in much better shape when I was loading boxes than I am now.
Isn't that where most of the drivers start though? Is loading boxes? Yeah.
Yeah, because everything there is seniority based. So.
How long do you gotta load boxes before you become a driver? Like.
Well, it depends. Like right now, it'd be hard to get in. You might be there for about 5-6 years part time. Mm-hmm. I got lucky. I got in. I only worked for 1 year part time.
Yep. And then
I started driving right at 21, which is the youngest you can be.
Yeah, that's huge.
Hit top rate by 25, and that's why we started having kids. That we don't have any family here, so when we get old, we want to have
a family. Yeah, for sure.
I was like, well, I mean, I guess we can afford it. Let's do it. Let's go ahead.
Yeah. Well, how's having kids when you're young?
Awesome. Yeah. It's weird. Your life changes. Like, that's what I was telling my buddy. We were talking about just the changes in your brain when you become a dad. And it takes a little bit, at least for me it did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I was a little upset when Scarlett first came out, our firstborn, because I was like, I thought I was supposed to be like, oh, this is so magical. I've never known a love like this. Oh, my God. I was like, what? It keeps me up. She screams. Like, this thing doesn't even want me. Lindsay's feeding her. She doesn't even want me.
Yeah.
Like, what is this thing? But as they grow up, you start to like, oh. And I like having kids young because I've got energy. I can run around. I'm right there with them doing everything they are.
They get their own personalities and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then when we have grandkids, if that ever happens, we'll be like 50.
Yeah.
And still have energy.
Yep.
I like it. I didn't really want kids at first, but I knew I would have them. But it's hard to be like, all right, especially as a dude.
Yeah.
To have a kid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, how old were we when you had Scarlett? Because Scarlett's your first, right?
Yeah, she's 4. She'll be 5 in July.
Yeah. So we're like 25 or 26 when you had your first.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It all runs together after a little while.
Yeah, I just try to make it, as long as we make it to the end of the day. I don't worry about tomorrow, because I used to get real anxious. UPS, it made me anxious. I'd have issues with it. Like, I'd be out there driving, and I don't know why, but I get real anxious when I started thinking about things I couldn't control.
And at home and stuff.
Yeah, and I ended up getting on some medicine and stuff. Like, they'd have to come get me off the route a couple times. Like, I'm like, I can't feel my fingers and toes. I'm dizzy. I think I might be about to die. Like, it was crazy. But then I started thinking, and I was like, I can't control any of this.
Right.
And I started thinking, I was in church one day, I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not a real Christian. I was like, this isn't good. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, dang, I need to just, let go, let God, like they say, whatever, and I can't control this, and the only thing I need to really do is just kind of make it at the end of the day and let everything else work itself out, and then we're good. And I don't know. I can't. As long as there's a lot of love going around the house, we're good.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, then you got Lindsay at home, too. I'm sure she does a great job there.
Yeah, you got to keep it simple the older you get, I feel like. And I'm not that old. We're 29. But we got a couple kids in a house, and we've gone through some things, as adults. So it's like...
Yep.
The most important thing is just keep it simple and keep a lot of love in there, and everything else will work itself out. And respect. Respect is a very, very big thing.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's... What are you doing, Sam? Nobody's here, buddy. But yeah, did you have any concern on raising kids in like today's world?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your plans on it? Because you're not babysitting, which is good. Because like, isn't almost like the cost for some people paying for babysitters about the same?
Lindsay's a nurse, and they make
good money. Yeah.
And that's what she told her boss. She's like, I'm not going to be working full time. I'm going to go PRN. She just works one day a month.
Yeah.
Because she said by the time I'm done paying the daycare, I would make more money delivering pizzas with the kid in the car.
Right.
Rather than pay somebody to watch my kid all day, me be at work, and at least I'm with the kid, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Yeah.
So, I kind of forgot your question, sorry.
No, so like it's, most people come to that conclusion where it's almost better to have one parent stay home, raise the kids versus paying for daycare. Because daycares, can be a couple $100.
And you don't know what they're telling your kid at daycare.
Just like school. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Because everybody's got their values. I mean, we're a Christian family. We go to church. We're not,
Yep.
But that's my main focus with them. And we've been doing really well. I'm better than when I was a kid going to church. Our attendance there's been pretty good. And the girls love it. And I think that's important. Because it's all about the foundation with your kids. As long as they know that you love... Well, we're talking about kind of the world. We're not of the world, and we're not made for the world, and the world's not going to make any sense because of that reason. So as long as my kids understand that and they know what they're here for and what all this is about, then the rest of it, hopefully, we'll be able to talk about and figure out together. But I mean, dude, I don't even know what I'm doing in the world. Like, I'm starting, you know what I mean? I'm starting to back up. Yeah, I go deliver my packages. I try and stay off the internet. And, because there's too much going on. I don't know.
I was about to say, like, you see on the internet, it'd be like first grade teachers teaching kids that like it's okay to be a boy when they're a girl. It's like shit like that. It's like, dude, I got to run my kids.
I'm so proud of Scarlett. We'll be watching TV. Well, I probably shouldn't say it, but The line is very blurred nowadays.
Yes.
And I don't care. Like, y'all know we don't care. As long as y'all at the end of the day are cool and everybody's doing the right thing, then I don't care what you do.
That's right. Keep it to yourself. Just as long as you do you.
But don't tell my kid that she's a boy. Like Lucy, we call him Tom girl, tomboy.
Yeah.
She's out there in the mud picking up bugs. Like, she's one of those girls. And it would piss me off if I came home one day and she goes, my teacher told me I'm probably a boy. I'm like, man, because we all grew up, there's girls like that, and there's boys that are a little more like, everybody figure themselves out.
Well, it depends on your environment too. Like you guys are outside with chickens, always doing stuff outside. Your kids are gonna follow you, whether you're boy or girl. But
I think everybody's too. Like I say, you just gotta let the wind blow, man. Don't stop trying to mold people, mold kids, mold anybody into whatever.
I always say worry about yourself. I mean, just as long as you worry about what you're doing, everybody else will take care of themselves.
If your neighbor needs some help, go help them. Quit worrying about whatever.
Unless it's the other neighbor that moved out here recently. Yeah, they can just... I remember when you were on the mower and shot the ball or something like that through their fence.
Oh, one of those Kong balls. Yeah, I was mowing. I was on that side of my yard, and they lived over there. Yeah. They got that white plastic fence, which I don't recommend that fence. Anybody get that white vinyl plastic fence.
Nope.
But the mower hit that Kong ball. And it shot through like a damn cannonball all the way through that fence. And I was like, I hope their kids aren't outside because that'll take your head off.
Yeah, it's dangerous, dude.
I went over there, knocked on the door. Were y'all outside? Is everything okay? Like, no, it's fine. Luckily, it's cool.
Put some white duct tape over it.
About 3 days later, a storm blew their fence over. So
problem solved.
Yeah, they got a new one. It worked itself out.
That thing got so nasty so quick. I mean,
it still is nasty.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot it's still up, ain't it?
The only part that's still up is where my chicken coop is.
Yeah.
Amanda got mad. I told her, we're out there looking. I said, I think the people you hired didn't put any concrete, at the bottom of the fence post. They just drove it in the ground. I was like, there's your problem.
Yep.
She goes, there's concrete on the ends. I was like,
I don't mean shit.
On the ends, but not the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I said, look, my chicken coop's the only reason this is up. And she got so mad. I'll say it.
By the way, you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. She got real mad. We were out there picking up all those fence posts, because it blew that way into our yard. Like, I don't care. I just help them pick them up. I'll put them in a pile right inside the line.
That's funny.
I was so glad when they moved out.
We'll take a quick pause real quick, come right back. So speaking about neighbors, one time JT and we see on Facebook, someone had guineas for sale. Not guineas, they were quail. So we were going to take off for like an hour and a half road trip one way to get some quail. And we took off, we forgot a box, so we needed a box to put them in, so we made a loop come back.
It's important.
Yeah, so when we first made our trip, she was double wide and double stroller with another mom in a stroller next to that with a dog.
You're talking about old girl down here?
Yeah. She
okay, so that's her, and then my buddy next door.
Yes, yeah. So
you're right. They go down the street like this.
Yes.
I'm all for walking on the road, but this is a country. 35 mile an hour.
Everything is curves too.
Yeah,
so nobody can see around the corner.
Smart. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So they were walking with traffic too. Typical. No, I'm not even gonna get into that. So a truck was coming behind them. Well, the truck didn't see me because they're triple wide on the road, and the truck went to go over to pass them. Well, I had to hit my brakes hard, and then the truck barely cut in front of them, and then I passed them. Well, I forgot my box and pulled in here, made a loop, and then she tried telling me in my driveway that I'm driving crazy and she's going to call my mom because I'm driving.
And that was right after your parents had went back to Michigan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was like 2 weeks after.
I'm like, they live 8 hours away. I don't think there's much she's going to do, but feel free. And then, of course, I called mom after. I'm like, hey, you might be
She's going to call you until you stay in your room. Don't you dare come out. I'm watching the Ring camera.
No quail for you.
I was like, it's going to be crazy if I get grounded from 8 hours away, but it is what it is.
Neighbors, man.
You can't choose them, so you can't choose them.
We try and be cool with them.
Yeah.
We all get along. That's what I told her too, because we had to run in with her the very first couple weekends we moved in. That was back when we had Riley and Oakley.
Yep.
And we just got home from church. I was still in my church clothes, which I find right after church is when I usually do act up the most. Yeah, it's terrible. I don't know why. But I was changing. I heard the dogs. Rawr, 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 and we just moved in. It's like they were barking at everybody walking by.
Right.
And they had on shock collars, but they were right at the line, which is about 3/4 of the way up the driveway. And they were just sitting there barking, and it was that same girl and her husband, and the kids walking by. And I just kind of waved at her, Riley, Oakley, get your butt back in here. What are you doing? And I thought that was the end of it. And she goes, I think your dogs got out of their electric fence. I was like, how do you know I have an electric fence? Like, I just moved in here. I don't who are you? What's going on here? I don't like when people know, information like that and I don't know you. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, yeah. She goes, did your dogs get out of the electric fence? I said, yeah, you just said that. She goes, I think your dogs got out of that electric fence. And I'm like, what do you want? I said, what are you trying to say? She goes, you need to keep your dogs contained. And I was like, oh my gosh. I said, well, they're in the driveway. I said, I think what you need to do is keep walking and mind your business. I threw a couple extra words in there, but I don't know who's watching. So she looked at me. She said, what did you say? It's the truth. I promise I'm not lying or embellishing or anything. I said, you need to keep walking and mind your business, ma'am. And she looked at her husband. She goes, you do not talk to me that way. I was like, like I just did. I was like, there's no issue here. The dogs are in my yard. It's fine. Just keep walking. And she looked at her husband. She goes, are you going to do something? And I was like, oh no. Because, what I said to her, hindsight, I was like, shouldn't have said that. Like, somebody said to Lindsay, I'd have to fight him just because, And I was like, I'm about to fight this guy. But when she said, are you going to let him talk to me that way? And I shouldn't have said it. He looked at her, or she looked at me, he's like,
I got to say something now.
No, he just shrugged and looked, and they kept walking. Oh, she started going off on him. I was like, what? They did, I get they're barking at you, but... Man, she's the worst. And then remember that car flip down the road?
Yes. Yeah. That's
on the 35-mile-an-hour road. Can you explain those physics to me? A Toyota RAV4 flipping at 35 miles an hour and taking out a telephone pole. That happened. I went down there and I started screaming because I was off work. That's when Luke was born. I was probably drinking. And Bodie called me, or John, somebody. I said, did you see that? They just flipped the damn car. I was like, what? And I went out there, and Katie's kids were playing out in the front yard when it happened.
Yeah.
And it flipped in the car next to her. I'm over, which one of you dumb, Mom was out here driving this car, you big dumb. So, remember, too, I drive for a living. Like, if you wreck your car, I'm judging you, because you shouldn't.
That's your job, yeah.
And, oh my gosh, she was so... They were all mad at me. I was like, how fast were you going, stupid? Look at you upside down, stuck. And, I didn't know who... Obviously, the driver was out. They wouldn't tell me who was driving. But I didn't care. Like, you could have been out there stuck upside down in your car. I'd be down there yelling at you just like that. And Katie was like, Michael, are you just going to cause problems? I was like... Your kids were playing in the yard, Katie.
Yeah, it could have been way worse.
Yeah, I was like, they could have just killed your kids. I was like, you're yelling at me because I'm yelling at them for driving like an idiot through here?
Yeah. Look at your yard. There's a car upside down in it.
Yeah. It's like, how am I the bad guy?
Yeah.
She goes, I'm going to call the police.
They're already
I was like, call the police and tell them somebody just flipped a damn car and drove. Call Warren Wreck and let them know he took the pole out too and there's no power out here. I said, how fast were you going, dummy? And some old lady goes, he was going 35. I was like...
No.
I said, give me the physics equation on that one.
Yeah, that's no.
So y'all are stupid. I was like, man, it made me, I was hot. And then the police showed up, and I was over here. I said, I think you're looking for me. I said, what? I was that blonde girl down there said she's going to call on me because I was down there screaming at him, calling him, all the names in the book. Because we got kids out here.
Because JT worked that pole.
I bet he did work that pole. He's good at working poles.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we let him hang around.
I like JT, though.
No, he was down there. You didn't recognize him. Because he had like...
I probably talked to you. You're right. He's got those big sunglasses down there.
Yeah, but he's like, I said hi to Michael, but he didn't seem to recognize me. I was like, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you remember... I said in the beginning of the story I might have been drinking.
Yeah, that's. And then I heard you were yelling at him. I was like, yeah, he wasn't worried about who anybody was down there.
I was cheering for him though.
Yeah.
When they showed up, I said, "Yeah, the real heroes."
What we figured out by JT is the shitty part is that dude's insurance has to pay for the pole and everything.
He should have to pay for the poll. He should go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything that had, like all their labor and everything.
He should have to wear a T-shirt that says "I'm an idiot" and then
I can't drive.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the same reason. Is it JT or
JT?
TJ? I always get it mixed up. But
Call 'em what you want. Yeah.
same thing. Whenever Oakley got hit, our dog the other day, which is another reason I really like him. I do appreciate all y'all helping. That was a rough situation. The kids were out there.
Yeah.
Even your girl, Saria, took the kids in here. I mean, it was just like...
because you were at work at that time. I forgot.
Yeah, she called me. I was on the way home. She goes, Oakley just got hit. I was like, what? Is he good? She's like, no. No. It was terrible, but the whole thing worked out as best it could. Like, he ended up dying over there whenever we got home from the vet. And he gave me two things of morphine to give him in case they got weird. Yeah. And Bodie was over there when he died, so he gave him the morphine and he just chilled out. But I brought that up because I bet that dude and the guy who flipped his car was probably playing on his phone.
100%. Yeah, I mean,
driving down the road.
Yeah, and it was definitely like JT and I both watched it happen. It was one of the worst things to see yet.
Oh, that's right, because you called him over. I'm just playing.
We were outside and he ran over.
That was the weirdest thing because he ran over here. We're like, he doesn't ever run across the street and come over here.
No, it was so shitty too because Oakley started running and then I heard the truck and I yelled his name 3 times. And he's like 120 pounds or something?
He was too big. He wasn't fat, but he was just big.
Yeah, but even more so, it's like a miniature cow running across an open yard. How don't you see that? But it was a shit event all around, but still. But it's the phone. Like, how do you flip your car going 35 miles per hour and roll it to a telephone pole?
That's why I said it's interesting because it's a slight curve right there. Not real big, but just slight. I said, I bet you dropped a tire and went boom.
Yep. And
And now look at you, dummy, upside down.
Your insurance goes up, buddy.
She said, you just gonna be over here and cause problems? I was like,
damn right I am. Why
you started it.
Pretty much. Yeah, I was like, I'm not the one flipping cars.
I saw an opportunity.
Like, how am I the bad guy here? I understand.
I saw an opportunity. I'm gonna take it.
The news pulled up too. I said, if y'all need anybody, I saw the whole thing. Oh. They wouldn't do it. I don't think they
probably got that. We got an intoxicated guy over here trying to get on the news. Just don't let him get on.
I was ready to see on Instagram one of those people that the eyewitness reports. Yeah, you should have seen it. So and so.
I seen something on Facebook. I think that's when I heard about it. Did you post on Facebook?
I did. Yeah. I tweeted Joe Immel. I did all of it. I said, if anybody knows this retard over here, let me know. I'm like, no, I'm going to send him a card in the mail. Let him know in case they didn't hear me. I have such a low tolerance because that's the problem with everybody nowadays is there's no respect for a lot of different things, including human life. Like behind the wheel. Certainly, yeah. I'm just as bad. I drive all day long. I get distracted behind the wheel. But it's it could all change. It if it wasn't Oakley, if it was one of my kids,
that's a different story.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it could have
very easily been. Yeah, it could have very easily been that though.
It's the same thing. Yep. If that car would have flipped 10 feet, back this way, she could have took out one of those kids in the front yard just sitting there playing.
Yep. Or how many people are riding bikes or walking and stuff like that, I
mean, it seems like somebody's getting hit a lot around Bowling Green. A lot of pedestrians getting hit.
Yeah. A lot of the phones. That's what essentially the self-driving cars, their argument will always win is this is safer than a human driving a car. I mean, you can't necessarily argue that. So, that's probably what's going to happen.
I mean, a retarded human.
Yeah, which is most of it.
And you can't argue that's the Amish might have it figured out.
They really do.
I'd deliver out there to them, and they're just out there. I'd try and raise my kids like little Amish kids.
Yep.
Like, go out there, pick up a stick, and whack a tree with it.
Yeah.
You got
Go get your hands dirty.
That's what we did growing up.
Yeah.
Playing in the dirt, throwing rocks around.
Builds character, dude.
The phones, it breaks my heart seeing the little kids.
The iPad kids.
Yeah, that's what we want to talk about. Like, is there like a time frame you want to give your kids technology? Because even when I was growing up, like I didn't get a phone until I was 16, but that was probably the latest it could have been. Like nowadays, I mean, there's even like sex trafficking, which is a terrible thing to talk about. Yet it's so prominent even in Bowling Green.
Yeah, we're right on the interstate.
Right.
That's our problem. Scarlett and Lucy and all them are beautiful little girls.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And like that's my biggest fear. Y'all think I was mean to the guy that flipped that car?
right? Yeah.
Let me catch somebody saying something to one of my kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, there won't be any words. It's just
There-
be right to action.
yeah.
You know. Yeah. Yeah. But it's like it raises the question, like, what is the age where you think it's too early to give it like a phone or all that technology to them, or now it's needed because even at school, when you're at school, 6 8 hours, if something happens there, like
I'm not a professional. My oldest is 4.
yeah,
But you do think about it. As of right now, and you got to play it by ear, but the way I would do it is if she gets real involved in sports and after school activities, and I'll get they still make flip phones.
Yeah.
oh, 100%, yeah,
And you can
100%.
still text on a flip phone.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's probably what I would end up doing. I don't know when. It won't be anytime soon.
Yeah.
You should see our kids when other kids have iPads.
They're like,
They're like, this is the craziest thing I've
Yeah.
ever seen. And they've got they got toys.
well, and they watch TV.
And they got
stuff like that.
electronics, yeah. They know all the Disney movies, all the princesses.
Yep.
But they don't sit there and watch TV all the time. We limit their screen time.
And that's what I was gonna say. That's probably the best way to go about it.
But I'll probably end up getting her a flip phone when the time comes.
Yeah. Well, they make phones now too, where like you only have like 5 contacts and like, or like even iPhones.
And you bet your ass I'll be going through it.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying like the parent.
The stuff with my
contacts.
parents, I got a phone when I was in 6th grade, and the stuff I was talking about with my friends late at night was not good. Now, we're just talking, nothing ever happened. But
Right.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. They make like phones that the parent sets the guidelines of what the phone can do. But I mean, even kids nowadays, they know more about technology than the parents, so like they're gonna figure out how to get around that.
Yeah.
Like
Boundaries and communications are, I think, important with kids.
Yeah.
We're pretty strict over there with like certain things, and our kids know what we
morals.
expect.
That's all it is
Yeah.
you're teaching kids morals, which a lot.
But
of
you
kids-
have to, I think, as parents, you have to understand that your kids. You got to remember yourself as a kid.
Yes.
You got to remember yourself as a kid and
Yep.
what you thought about your parents, and then when you grow up, because everybody figures their parents out eventually.
Yep.
Like, oh,
You're not perfect. So,
yeah. And so you got to remember all that.
Yeah.
And know that your kids, the way I look at it, that's what we're aiming for, and we're gonna do
Yep.
this.
Just keep the guard.
But as long as we're bouncing between here, then it's okay. And
Yep. Just guidelines is all you can give them.
you gotta pick your battles.
Yeah, because you can go
100%.
too far on the spectrum. Is like you discipline them on everything, but then once they like get in high school, then they want to do everything that you always told them no to. So it's like, let me set an example. You choose to follow it as you want to, and then it's up to. Eventually, they'll be mature enough to make their own decisions. But
Eventually.
yeah.
One day.
I think especially with this AI stuff coming out too, I'm still curious on. I think a lot's going to change in the next 5-10 years to with the technology and.
Oh, it won't. 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, there's a
different.
change then. But even like, we're across the world, we're having less kids than ever before. So even that, like the technology. And
Speak for
internet-
yourself.
Well, you're not helping that, But I mean, even like technology and stuff like that. Everybody's sitting at home where they're playing on the screen all day. So like they're.
Well, it's really interesting. It's a whole different world on that screen, and you can do whatever you can. There's 100 different simulations. You can be a pilot, go hop on Flight Simulator. You're gonna be a farmer, go get on Farmer Simulator or whatever.
You talk shit on Twitter all day, or
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
you were asking me in the very beginning about what it's like being a dad, and it's funny because you change. Like I don't feel like I'm the same person I was in my brain too.
Yep.
10 years ago. Like now I'm Scarlett, Lucy, and Luke's dad.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is how it should be, like
And-
Not just Michael anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then once you start having kids, like you start looking at life a little different. Like, oh,
Yep.
like we gotta keep our water clean. You gotta be a little more responsible. I'm not,
Right. Yeah.
we can cut a few trees down. I'm all right with that. Just yesterday I dumped some used motor oil in the bonfire and gave back to the earth.
Yeah.
You gotta start being responsible.
Well,
and you're like, oh, okay.
You're taking care of other people now. It's not just you. Like if you fuck up, that's just on you. But now it's like you got a whole family to look over.
It's easier to go to work when you have kids. You're like, oh man. I tell myself all the time, if I didn't have y'all, I'd be home today.
Yeah. That's another thing about UPS. You can just kind of be like, hey, someone take my route today.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's what I tell everybody. It's like having your own business or whatever, because I drive the truck. I'm by myself all day. I make the decisions by myself all day. But if I don't want to go to work, as long as I got the call-ins or the sick days, I don't have to.
Yep.
And I don't have to worry about the truck. If it breaks down, I'm not paying for it. I don't pay for the gas. I just keep it clean.
Someone can pick me up. That's what Brandon or whatever his name was telling me. Like sometimes when they're driving, if they hit like the certain hour cap of them working, they'll have them pull the truck over and send another driver to them and take them home. Like they're that.
Now we don't really work that much anymore. But yeah,
well,
they freak out when it's 14 hours. You get close to that 14 hours.
You pull the truck over, we're gonna send someone to get you.
I mean, you get in trouble with the DOT.
Yeah,
it's a big deal. I worked 13 hours and 45 minutes one time when they about
lost their shit.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Well, we're about out of time, so we'll take a break. Come back for the last segment, I guess. All right, back for the last segment. I had a question. Are you guys planning on living in this area? Like, because I know school districts here in Bowling Green are pretty good for the public schooling.
Out here, they're really good. That's why we bought this house. Yeah. We'll be here for a while. I think we got like 8 years until it's paid off, maybe 9.
Yep.
So we'll hang out for a while after that. But I want land.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll end up
buying land to go to, or like buying land to have, like what?
I'd like to live on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And like have a river running through. Like half woods, half regular land.
Fields or grass.
I'd love to have like 100 acres. But we'll be here for a while.
Yeah.
I don't look too far ahead. We'll be here for a while. Like I said, after 8 years, we'll be doing really well. And then once the kids go back to school, Lindsay will start working again.
Yeah. Well, even that, you get the house paid off, you can just maybe build like a little cottage or cabin on the land, something like that. Like that's a good idea too.
Probably end up buying land and then holding on to it for a while and then building a house at some point.
Yeah, as long as you let me come hunting, I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, I want to hunt.
It's fun.
Fun.
Yeah, I've hunted a couple times growing up. I probably killed 4 deer, maybe 3.
Yeah.
They're all does, nothing crazy. One was probably too small that I should have shot, but if it's brown, it's down.
Yeah, exactly.
She was delicious, very tender.
Well, that's the thing with the younger ones; they taste better. That's unfortunate. It's like 20 pounds of meat.
The whole thing was like a filet mignon.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But that's what I was telling Lindsay last year. I was like, I want to hunt. So I'm going to sweet talk some old lady on my route. There's some big boy farms.
Oh, there's huge. Yeah.
Big boy farms out on my route.
Well, like JT's dad's best friend, they own a Coca-Cola distributor. They have like
in Oakland.
I don't know. It's somewhere in the country, but they have here in Elverton or something. They have like 2,000 acres about. So it's just
that's enough.
Yeah, that's definitely enough.
That should do.
Yeah. Well, that's where we went shed hunting. That's where we found those this morning.
That's what I was wondering. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, we put in like 4 miles today.
I'd like to have enough land to give the girls and Luke a corner of it.
Yeah, the best
like an acre,
and give your kid a 4-wheeler. Let them have fun. That's where you learn a lot. We had up in Michigan, we had 25 acres of just trails. You had 2 or 3 4-wheelers always to drive around. That was fun.
Lindsay's parents, they owned a cabin. He sold it in Trimble County, and I think they had like 400. I could be wrong. I could
well,
be.
that's a lot though.
And on the Kentucky River.
Wow, yeah.
They took me up there a couple of times for like, they ended up having a fallout with people who owned it, but.
Yep.
Oh, dude, I was like, what? Why did you sell this?
Right,
Like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. You can just ride four-wheelers all day long
There's
out there.
everything there. Yeah.
He also owned a condo in Destin, sold that too. I don't agree with his
financial decisions.
I mean, he's doing fine financially, but I was like, dude, Destin and 400 acres in the woods, like, that's pretty cool spot to have there.
Yeah. I'd like to go to Destin anytime.
Lindsay's cousin lives in Destin. She met a guy down there that his family has a fishing charter company.
Really?
That's cool.
Yeah.
That wasn't the bodybuilder one, was it?
No. They got divorced. That was Lindsay's sister. That's hilarious. She was here yesterday. They got divorced.
Alrighty, they just got married, or
Well, you know.
it happens.
She's got a new boyfriend now. He's really cool. I like him.
Yeah.
They were over here yesterday. I like him. His name's Trent. I like him a lot better than Austin.
Okay.
Not that matters, but
that's
just
good.
throwing that out there.
A little upgrade.
I told Austin, never mind. We'll talk about that off camera.
Oh, shit. Yeah, well, hell, in general, I don't have much else to talk about.
You know, y'all have seen her, haven't you? Lindsay's sister. I feel like you asked me about her one time.
Well, no, she asked me about, I think she asked you to ask me about doing the bodybuilding competition or something like that. I've seen her at the gym at like BAC once or twice. But
She come over here. She loves working out. I don't know.
that she's like huge on that.
Did you ever get into bodybuilding?
I did one show. Was it 6 months ago now?
Yeah, like the beginning of November.
So you're in bodybuilding.
Yeah. I mean, if I do another show, it'll be like 2026. I'm taking this year off. Got some trips planned and stuff. Well, I think three of our buddies are getting married all this year.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can't
we've
really
got a bunch of parties to go
through
to.
that.
So.
Yeah.
Weddings are the worst.
I love them. Like when my brother got married, it was so fun.
Being part of it or playing?
I mean, your brother would be fine, but
I like being a part of
my
it.
best friends get married. My best friend just got. I got two best friends from back home. One got married a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And it's fine, whatever. Thanks for having me. And my other best friends get married here in May.
Dude, it's free food and you get to have a good time with the boys. Like that's.
I'm all for a good time with the boys, but man, weddings are the worst. I hate the theatrics of it. Me and Lindsay, I loved ours. It was so small.
Yeah,
we rented a little bitty bed and breakfast place down by the lake, and like just our parents and best friends growing up came and.
Yep. It's cheaper that way too.
Well, our parents gave us some money, and we ended up. They said you can do whatever you want basically with this money. And so we're like, well, we'll do a small wedding and a big honeymoon.
100%. Yeah.
And we went to Hawaii for 2 weeks, and that was
hell yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I would love to go back. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was weird too, because like you're freshly married.
Right.
Speaking of getting married, what are y'all doing?
I don't know when we're gonna get married. Probably next year, 2 years maybe. I don't know. We've been dating.
You gotta get engaged first.
Yeah.
I think, Pete, isn't that the way it works?
Yeah.
I mean, just do it all in one day. It'd be it's the cheapest, easiest way.
Go to the courthouse.
No, I mean we've been dating for 2 years in May, I think. So we still got time.
She's good with kids. I do know that.
She is, yeah. She wants kids. She wants 3 of them.
She wants to babysit ours.
Come over anytime she's over.
We'll drop them off.
Yeah, she loves kids. They just go in there and watch movies.
Yeah.
I think Scarlett, whenever I drive my car down the road, she'll be waving.
She loves. I don't know why they like you so much. They do. My kids are always, Dell's home. Last night she goes, Dell's home. Like, who cares?
He comes home every night.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in bed. Where's your car?
In the garage.
Why haven't I heard it?
I got another one it's a gas saver.
I think probably not very good on gas, is it?
Oh, dude, it gets like 14 miles per gallon.
I was wondering. I thought I saw it in the garage. I didn't know if maybe you're doing something,
No, I'm just keeping
putting some go fast parts on it or what.
No, just keep miles off it. And the gas, I pay like 15 to 20 bucks a week to drive that car out there, and I was paying like 55 to drive that other one a week.
Yeah.
It's quite convenient.
A little golf cart.
Oh, it's so fun. You beat the shit. The first day I bought it, just drove right through the yard, hit the road, and on the way out. It's a good time. But
It's so funny.
hell, anything else you want to talk about? If not, we'll wrap this bad boy up.
Nah, we keep talking, we'll end up getting in trouble, so we'll turn the camera off.
All right, well, I appreciate everybody listening.
Yep, thank you.
Have a good day.